He doesn't have an arm or a pit, but he can make the noise. And I was like, see, he is broken. And then, that is perfect. And I think Crown likes him even more because he can make the noise.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
Gonna put yes, fart noise, and then makes it internally. That is perfect. All right. Well, those are some awesome questions. All a bunch of yeses.
Yeah.
So, do you have any? I have no more questions. The fact he made a fart noise had me rolling on the ground. I think I was like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, I love. Yeah. So this is like 10-year-old Crown's dream come true, and he clearly is super intelligent and is answering yes. So we know that Cyril's a secret agent. He knows him from another reality. He knew him before Boulder City and pre-Junkyard. You walk that right down into so there's some interesting stuff to mine there. Do you have any more questions for Joey? You're on a roll. Doesn't mean you have to. That's some pretty deep stuff to deal with.
I think 14-year-old wouldn't go any further.
Yeah, I think the fart probably would have stopped it. Yeah, I think the joy, I think both kids would have cracked up, and you'd be like, see, he's not broken. And I'd be like, clearly not. Yeah, I thought he's got to answer no, because he can't make that noise. He doesn't have a pit or a hand. And then turns out he can make the noise. Love it. That closes that scene down perfectly. And I think Joey stays there because there's still a big bounty out for him, so he's not going to walk around with us.
Yeah.
The only thing I would think of is, he's not. Clearly doesn't want to go back to Ciro, especially if they're enemies or whatever. So he thinks Ciro is an enemy.
And let his enemies become.
Right. I think that might be a line of questions we would have to get with Ciro. Is like, you were an enemy.
Yeah.
Clearly, you could have turned him in at any time.
Yeah.
So how are we going to, we'll probably have to fix that relationship at some point. Because if they know each other, all the true answers will come out of Ciro, who can elaborate, even though he's darn near scared the heck out of us and then covered it up with fart noise. But
well, remember, Ciro wants to see us the next day.
Right.
So that's something that we
So we have
really
a line
work
of
on
questions that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's a good, I could even see that as, I think we still need to see Officer Richards, but for our next session, I do think going
so
to
you
Ciro.
think we need to see Richards today?
I feel like it was something, we had a run in the tags.
Yeah.
I think even if we decided to shut that line of inquiry down, like tell her, oh, don't worry about it, I think I got a number wrong, or see what she got out of it.
I think we can ask.
Yeah, because we're so deep into it. I think I'm almost worried as Crown, like, should we even drag Officer Richards any further into this? Or is she someone, we know she likes the paranormal and all this stuff.
Yeah, that might be.
Is she the team of Ciro and Richards and Joey and Crown and Phoenix? Does that end up being the team?
I think she's still a person. So let's go see if she is.
All right, I like
it. Let's say, after we've been laughing and rolling on the floor.
I can't wait till I show Officer Richards my new trick.
For you. I say, hey, Crown, let's get out of here. Let's give you a new bike a roll, and I cleaned mine up, so it's ready to go too. And we'll go see Officer Richards.
Got it. So we're gonna go see Officer Richards.
About that.
Yes.
Because the letter was something important, so we've got to.
The letter was, and then remember we had Richards running the tags from the government guys that were following us around, and Gunderson's tag.
Yeah.
So the transition will be, our expected scene is just going over to Officer Richards' house. We fixed the boat up for her. I want to know, does anything alter or interrupt before we get there? Chaos factor is 5, so 5 or below. 9. Nothing interrupts.
Good.
The new bike rides like a dream. And we get to Officer Richards' house. So how do you envision? We have so much more information today than we did the last time we talked to her. Last time we talked to her, we'd finished the boat. It was down at the docks. She said we could borrow it, make sure you wear your life jackets. And now we found a drone, and we're linked in with Ciro, and it's all tied back to Joey and the secret agent stuff. I think you would be the wiser one here. If anything, I'm probably liable to make fart noise and tell everything. Would you have any cautions?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I would tell Crown, hey, Crown, all we've just experienced in the last 24 hours is locked and sealed for a little while, just between us.
Officer Richards will love this, though.
It doesn't matter if she would love it yet. Let's just go in there and let's agree, please, Crown, that we do not say anything about what happens unless you and I talk it over first.
Okay, but can I show her this? He made a long one. I got to be able to show her that. As
long as you make the deal on the other, you can play.
Deal. I've been working on a real long one even came out. And I think it's somewhat insufferable, quite honestly. This is a problem hanging out with a 10-year-old who now knows.
This is what I'm starting to think.
Yeah, you're thinking, holy moly. Got it. All right. So it's in the vault.
Oh, well, he'll stop.
That's right. At some point in time.
I didn't have the word perseverating.
At some point in time, Lord have mercy, he's got a new bike and a new noise. All right. And I'm going to have to unveil that to Officer Richards at some point. So, knowing it's in the vault, knowing that I'm going to try my hardest to keep that, I may even have to do some do I fail at being able to keep it secret? But I will try hard. I think I do the whole, zip the lip, seal it, throw away the key thing, along with the brrrr, and then here we go. So we knock on Officer Richards' door, and why don't you take where that would go? Where would that go as we... So
let's see if she's home.
Got it. Good question. I think it's probably, we probably know her days off, but we're not 100% sure. Let's go with very likely 85% chance. Okay. Is she home? 85 or less. 25 she is. Oh. So she's home, and the last time we saw her, we borrowed her boat. So I think she's like, did you guys have a fun adventure yesterday? And I think I'm like, and then you look at me right off. Because I'm like...
Okay. Oh, we got caught in the storm. I changed the subject because...
Perfect. Yeah, you can see I'm
the focus. We were in a storm.
Right.
And guess who did most of the rowing?
Yeah. She's stronger than me.
Oh, I was spent.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think Officer Richards would say, I got a little nervous when that storm kicked up because I thought, well, you guys were out at the lake. And I say, well, we wore our life jackets. That was perfect. And then I can't keep the noise secret. I'm like, Officer Richards, I learned a new trick. And she's got to clearly be like, well, what's that, Crown? And... is there anything you're able to slip in before I make the noise to warn Officer Richards? It would be, you'd have to be quick.
Hang on, Officer Richards.
Perfect. Yeah.
The adult would say, I think she's appreciate the macabre, but the kid would just say, hang on, Officer Richards.
Interesting, Crown. And then I think Officer Richards would look at Phoenix and say, is he doing that a lot?
A lot.
Yeah, I think you would be simpatico with Officer Richards on that one. Now, she's likes us, and I think she would say, Crown, do me a favor. It's a great trick, but why don't we just leave the armpit alone for most of the afternoon?
That's good.
Yeah, I think she would just, and I think, and I'm like, I think I would
That's
be like,
concrete enough.
Yeah, I would be like, okay. And then later on, I'll be like, I don't think she appreciated it. But
she did.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe he would just say, I thought you would like it. It's an interesting sound, Crown. But having heard it once, we're good.
Yes. Shake her hand.
I just learned it. And you're like, All right, perfect.
Okay.
So I've got to bring down the noise.
Yeah.
And I think we come on in, and I think real easily she says, hey, I did run those tags for you, and we've got to figure out. She says, come on in. So let's ask the fate chart a little bit. Gunderson, we knew that was going to come back. I mean, that hasn't been much of a secret. I think she's able to confirm Gunderson's car, right? And who Gunderson is. And I can't remember just because it was a ways back, but I think we caught her up that he was nice and that...
to us, he was nice.
Yeah, he was nice to us, but I think she's able to confirm, because he gave us his name, she's able to confirm this comes back to a Gunderson. She doesn't know, because we committed a crime, we stole the mail. We're not going to share that, obviously, with her, but it's not a big surprise when Gunderson's tag comes back to Gunderson. I think the bigger one is what happened with the Fed tag she ran, because just running the tag could cause an alert with whatever government agency. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to think how she would do that. So nowadays, officers will run tags. If you ran the government tag, it would usually just come back to it might come back to just US Gov. But it could come back to some agency. So let's say it has an agency name, but I don't know what that agency name would be. I'm going to try something a little bit odd. I want to go with action subject, but to see if it'll give us a name. So we're going to have to it could be just like when we got inspect emotions, just to pretend if we were looking at a government agency that inspects emotions, who would that be? I don't know. That almost seems like that would be like social work services or something, because they're inspecting emotions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, whatever this is,
we got to find a category.
We'll try to see what would fit into. So let's see. She's run the tag, and it came back to 55 is going to be disrupt. So disrupt. And what else? 35 under subject is legal matters. So if we were to think of an agency, a government agency that would disrupt legal matters. So it could be legal matters and disrupt something else, which could mean it is the DOJ, Department of Justice, meaning that things are disrupt, or they're disrupting organizations with legal matters. So DOJ is an option, but we don't have to stick with that. If it's not the DOJ, we could roll again and see if we get a combo, but do you think anything else that would disrupt legal matters?
FBI.
Okay, so we could do FBI as well. So FBI, so it's a legal matter, and the FBI would be the direct enforcers of the disruptors of whatever the problem is. Okay, those are good options. And I think we could stay wide on that. So how about we do a simple yes/no question, or maybe even odd. Odd, it's the DOJ, and even, it's FBI.
Okay.
All right, so odd, DOJ, even FBI. Even FBI. So she says the government tag comes back to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I'm pretty sure they're going to want to find out why I'm running their tags.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, oh, well... And I think I would just say that some kids reported a car following them around. keep it simple, Officer Richards. Crown's like, and she's like, yeah, that's exactly what I figured. So the government, the interesting thing is those government guys we're dealing with were FBI. That doesn't tell us in particular if they're good or bad, or they're working with Ciro, or are they following Ciro? What's Gunderson's deal? I'm going to do like a little like Gunderson. And then we know we had the FBI because they were trying to grab on to me. And then we know that they were at least watching, the FBI was watching Gunderson. So where's Ciro and where's DARPA in that? We don't know. So we don't know if the FBI is good or bad. But we know they're the ones that were going to grab me, Crown.
Because just wanted info.
Maybe, yeah, or find out what Gunderson said to me or whatever. And they're clearly were watching Gunderson. So
should we ask what the FBI would do with Crown?
Yeah, I think that would be good. So because we're like, well, we were talking to Gunderson. The FBI was, then it's the FBI that was watching Gunderson. They were trying to get me into a car. Why would they want a 10-year-old? I don't know. And what would Officer Richards say?
Why would they try to get you in a car?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, so I think Officer Richards, I'll speak from the law enforcement side, she'd go, well, they probably wanted to know what you were talking to Gunderson about. But I'm like, they got to take me for a car ride? She goes, yeah, that's a little odd, but the FBI does things differently. So I think that would be
I think even in that day, though.
In the 80s? They
That
might have
would be
grabbed
bad.
the kid and take you home to your parents, though. The FBI, though, would
True.
maybe just shake you down and say, what are you talking to Gunderson about? Or what's he talking to you about? Because
Maybe they weren't going to take him in the car.
got it. Yeah, because they were just going to they tried to grab
Grab
him,
him.
or they weren't taking him back to the car.
No.
But maybe that wasn't like a kidnapping, but it sure
Yeah.
felt like it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Yeah. And then she's like, did those FBI agents come to your house? No, but we did see him down by Baskin Robbins. And she was like, yeah, okay.
Maybe they wanted ice cream.
That would be her answer. Well, they do have 31 flavors. That was pretty novel back then. You get 31 flavors. Yeah. Good point. So I think she's run the tag. That could embroil her in this FBI net, whatever's going on. So her just running the tag could put her at risk. So we can update that. I think what do we fill? I know you don't want her filled in yet. So, but she is into the, it's like she's into these UFOs and into all this mystical stuff. So I think it would intrigue her that the FBI was interested in like grabbing a 10-year-old kid. How about that? She's just like, well, Crown, did he tell you something? What do you know about Gunderson? Which is good because we clearly know about the secret project that he's working on. But that isn't because he told us anything. It's because we stole his mail. And I'm thinking I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut, even about stolen mail. So is Phoenix doing anything to remind me to keep my mouth shut?
No, I don't think so.
You're not kicking me in the foot or anything, or just or changing the subject. I think I recognize I'm the one that stole the mail. You were the lookout. The caw-caw, caw-caw. So I'm not going to tell the cop I stole the mail. I don't think I would be that dumb.
Because Phoenix told you that's illegal and you get in jail.
And I did it. It's been done. Even though we got it back. So I'm just like, he seemed like a nice guy. Wasn't he, the drone was flying at the time, but we couldn't tell who was flying it, the FBI or Gunderson. We couldn't tell. He was watching this drone, though, and the race, and then the drone took out one of the boats in the race. And We're like, he seems so nice, and he didn't seem like he was running the drone. But why would the FBI be watching him? So she knows, she's like, yeah, that is a good question. And I think she would like talking about stuff. So would she share it with kids, though? We're the only ones that believe in like UFOs and stuff like she does. She's kind of an outcast on the department. Do you think there would be any more back and forth?
I get the feeling, because we promised each other we wouldn't talk about much with her, is that after we go to Ciro's place, then we'll bring her in more actively.
Okay. Got it.
She'll be part of it.
Got it. Because we do trust her.
Yeah.
She's trusted by us. She is a police officer. We know she's good. And I think that's probably her biggest asset to us, is we know she's a nice person.
And she found out
and she
that
listens to us. Right. And she does listen to us. And she's into this like mystic kind of stuff going on. Okay, so I got it. I think we just hang out, and okay, the FBI's involved. I think there's some chit chat. Is there anything you want to ask her before we leave?
What's she going to do for fun the rest of the day?
Okay.
Her day off.
Got it. So what would she do? We can think logically, what do you think she would do? Or do we want to go to the sheet? Do you want to go to the sheet and try to puzzle it out, or do you know what she would do?
Well, if you wanted to add more mystery, go to the sheet. But I think she would go down to the beach.
Got it. All right. I think you're right. And is she going down there just to hang out, or is she even
just to hang out?
Up?
She's not going to
Got it.
give any of this another thought.
Okay. And maybe she's going to go use the boat.
Yeah.
All right. So she's like, hey, I was going to go out on the boat a little bit and just hang out at the beach. I think that sounds good. It doesn't have to be anything more sinister or anything else. She needs her break as well. Good. I think we could end there, because next time we're back at Ciro's with tons of questions from Joey. Let's give ourselves some experience. So just for us, we're both involved. Give yourself 1. We both participated. 1X. Furthering the story. Well, you were key here. Those questions you asked of Joey were just perfect. Now,
how many?
Just give yourself 1 for that. Those questions were good. And then I'm going to give Crown 1, because he's like, I don't think he's actually saying yes. And then he ends up making the fart noise. So I'm going to give 1 to my...
Well, and you got us out of Ciro's.
Got it. Well, we got out of there.
Interested.
I think it's 2. We both got 2. 1 for just being involved in this session. 1, your questions were good, and I liked the way. I think Crown would have done all the fart noise. I think that it's going to be insufferable. Anything further that we picked up? I don't feel like necessarily. Maybe give yourself 1 more, because I liked your deal of, hey, Crown, you're going to have to control yourself over here with Officer Richards. Why don't you give yourself another one? I thought the idea that you recognize, hey, Crown's going to just vomit at the mouth with all this.
But I think that you need to give Crown credit for not saying anything too.
Got it.
Because that was a big thing for a little kid, and he made the agreement and he kept his word.
Got it. And I'll give myself only 1, because I made the fart noise with her. The fart noise will carry through it. I think I will. Fine. We each get 3. I thought that was good, because I think he would have been like, and she'd be like, that's interesting. Well, let's not do that anymore today. I think that part is good. I feel like that part definitely role played through there. Once Crown learned the trick, it's hard to get the 10-year-old to stop. Okay.
But she helped it stop.
I agree. I think she was, yes. So I already had 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming in. I know you'd used all yours. It takes 5 of these in order to improve one of your locations, or one of your skills. You only, okay, so you only had 3, because I remember you'd managed to get 10, I think, last time, and you used both. All right, so let me get rid of 5 of mine, and I want to tie it in. Is there anything that's going to tie in? Well, I don't think it's charming when I learned the fart noise. So I'm trying to tie in because it's definitely not sneak, program, comprehend, empathize, investigate. Oh boy, what would he have picked up? Yeah, no, I'm trying to tie it into the fart noise just because.
It's gonna help.
Yeah. Contacts, no.
Body move.
He's got a lot of charm.
I was thinking of charm too.
Good. Let me bump his charm up, even though the fart noise is
It's
getting
still
insufferable.
Helped.
Yes.
Still helped.
And so we're going to go ahead and take charm from a 2 up to a 3.
For you?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and because he's able to pull it off in a charming way, not to mention heart is my 5. So when I do roll for stuff, if I'm rolling charm and my heart, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be good rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves me with just 2. Perfect. All right. Well, that's good. And I like how it tied back in. So he's able to do the fart noise, is what I believe. It's a little insufferable, but he's able to kind of make it somehow charming at the same time. All right, any notes you want to add? How about this? For next time, what are we wanting to do next time? We know we're going to go see Ciro. Is there anything else you're wanting to do as a character for next time in particular?
Well, no, but I want to get Officer Richards back into it after we see Ciro. So
see Ciro, and then what if I bring Officer Richards into the fold?
How about just connect with Officer Richards?
Okay. I'm thinking, because it would probably take Ciro of, are we going to let the officer in with Officer Richards? I would imagine he would be resistant to bringing a police officer.
Government people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that he knows so much, especially if we know all this. He's secret upon secret, but maybe her interest is so, she'd be like.
See, I think we could go back and see her after we see Ciro, and she can do her love bead thing, and he doesn't even have to know that she's Officer Ciro. She might suggest that. We can see if that'll work. I forgot
the love beads. She makes those or something? What was it?
I just made that up.
Oh, but I thought she had something. Was she, because she's kind of
she liked crystals.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. She was big into crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mystic and the UFOs and all the weird
I'm just
happenings.
saying, she'll look like a hippie going in to see him.
And I don't think she would prejudge Ciro either. I think she would be intrigued.
And he wouldn't know her because he's
in
his junkyard.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.